Alrighty, you guys. Three, two, one, and let's begin. I think I'll just put my webcam over here so it's a little bit easier for me to record. Alright, as you can see, I am in a different recording location. As I said before in my previous video, which I believe was reaction flying to the moon, so I am in a different location as of right now. But yeah, let's get into it. Eagle reviewer slash reactor is going to discuss the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. Super excited to do this. Let's begin. I just came back after seeing the movie a couple of hours ago, so it was still fresh in my head. And yeah, also spoiler warnings, huge spoiler warnings are included in this video. So make sure you first go ahead and watch the movie thoroughly, okay? Or just watch it, okay? Spoiler warnings are going to be coming out. They might slip up once in a while, so I'm going to be discussing this movie in depth. So make sure you watch it first and then watch this video, as you should for all my other reviews as well, okay? Alright, now let's get into it. So, this movie, I loved it. I liked it. We're going to discuss, I guess, the good stuff, maybe some of the stuff that wasn't entirely good. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss. First of all, if you've seen the trailers or my trailer reactions, those sort of sum up a good different chunks of the movie, which we'll be discussing as well. So stick around for that. First, I'm going to sort of discuss, I guess my plan is anyways, to discuss the less heavy spoilery stuff, I guess, for the movie, and just to explain why did I enjoy this movie so much. It's because it had good action, good fighting sequences, action sequences, the effects and everything looked pretty good. Cameos in this movie were extensive and really paid off on that end. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed all those tidbits of the film. So yeah, now here's the thing. Even though I love this movie so much, of course, think about it, just even after Endgame, we haven't had really a good Marvel film after some time. Sure, we had maybe some films like Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Shang-Chi, and then we had ones that people didn't enjoy as much, like Multiverse of Madness or the Marvels, films like that, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So you have some decent movies, and then you have like some movies that just people don't like as much. So Marvel's kind of in a big mess, but I think now with this film, with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and all, people continue saying, oh, Marvel's back. So we'll see what happens from here, but I think this one sort of brought back a different style to the film that people were sort of hoping to see again, and sort of rejuvenated that flame to it. So yeah, also if you noticed, I am wearing glasses in this video. I don't think I normally do that, but they just help me see a little bit better. So yeah, I am wearing them as of right now. What else? I guess we should discuss the rating for this video first, because I'm kind of making this one in a different format. So I'm stuttering. I'm gonna start over. I've saw like reviews for this film, right? 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, 7 out of 10s, maybe. The reason I think why people are going full 10 out of 10, even though it's really, really good in some parts, it's kind of not as good in some other parts. The stuff that could have been better. Like, in the stuff that it did really well, it showed. Like, it was like max level, like cameos, action sequences, everything done really, really well. But now we're going to discuss one of the sort of lacking features, which have elevated this film a bit more, is the plot. A lot of reviews are saying the plot was kind of lacking in the film. Sort of like the connection, the transition of the film could have been a little bit better. Let me sort of explain. Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, while those weren't as intensive films as this one, the plot was somewhat more deep or more extensive. The first one, purely a revenge film with some comedy into it and some decent action, but still, it had a very strong plot, and it flowed and it made sense throughout. Same with the Deadpool 2. It kind of had a bit more action to it, less seriousness, but still. When it came to the plot, saving the kid and everything, it really felt connected in that sense. This one was kind of loosey-goosey, where things just happen once in a while, where that sort of connection kind of fell apart as to what part are we at now, when maybe they're starting it off, with Deadpool just fighting, to sort of the trip, or I guess the road trip that Wolverine and Deadpool are on together. Stuff is just kind of happening with this one, the dog pool scene and everything, but I still enjoyed it. It just felt like, what does this have to do with anything again? And there are reasons for certain scenes, but it felt like at a certain point stuff was just kind of happening, which kind of it stems from a larger problem, which I should discuss now. It's the villain of the film. I personally felt like the villain of this film, Cassandra Nova, didn't feel that threatening to me. And I think there's a reason why. She was kind of trying to be justified as a morally great character, why she does the things the way she does. And I'm fine with them. I'm fine with morally great characters. It's just she was too much morally great. She wasn't really that threatening or that scary looking. At first, she just wanted to talk. Like, all she did was just talk. Sure, she made some threats and all, but when it comes to, like, Wolverine and Deadpool, how do you make such a scary and threatening villain when, your heroes can pretty much regenerate? She could have, like, done just a bit more, because it was until the end when they explained how she was, like, much more scary, I guess, towards the end of the film, and how hard it would be to stop her. Like, she wasn't really in the movie that much because they were focused on so many other things, right? For example, the other characters in Deadpool 1 and 2 are barely in this one. That's what people said. It's not really Deadpool 3, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. They sort of stole the spotlight from everyone else and all the cameos and everyone, and all the other characters just kind of got sidelined from the first two films, like Dopinder and Cable and all, and like Cable and Colossus and all. They sort of just got sidelined, in the film. They didn't really do as much. So yeah, the villain was also sidelined, sort of. She got a couple scenes at the start and a couple at the end. That's really it. So, yeah. And I get it. They kind of wanted to make it a shortened run time and kind of have things more focused and steady, I guess. But I don't know, man. It just could have been a bit more elevated in that sense, with the whole villain thing. For example, you don't need to have such a very strong villain, like very powerful. You can have one that's less powerful when it's not Marvel movies are more powerful. But if they're threatening and sort of you feel that intensity, it sort of plays out. For example, in Deadpool 1, he goes up against Frederick, the person who turned him into Deadpool. And in Deadpool 1, he wasn't as strong or as powerful, or he didn't really know that he's as powerful as, or his powers as well. So that's sort of why he seems so threatening and scary, sort of, I guess. And that kind of sold us over, or Cable and Deadpool 2, and he became more strong. But if you take Deadpool from Deadpool 3, he would kill Frederick in just a couple of minutes, and he'd be dead. So I guess this one they went for more of a mutant era, Cassandra Nova. They just made her a bit more powerful, or not really powerful because we already know how powerful she is, but just a few more scenes explaining how scary she is or how powerful she really is, instead of just shelving everything for the ending would have been a bit more, exciting. And especially the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine just somehow managed. They said, oh, we're still so strong that we didn't die at the end, even though they infused matter and antimatter together. The bond between the two characters was so strong. The villain, it kind of made herself look even weak because the fact that they were still unable to stop her. So I would have actually preferred it if Cassandra Nova did win, maybe. I'm not entirely sure about that, but maybe it would have made it a bit better, or would have improved her as a villain much, much more. Instead of just saying, oh, she's sort of a morally great character, she does things the way she does because of this and that, she's just been in the void this whole time. So yeah, I guess that's another thing. But other than that, I loved it. The action and everything, and writing was pretty good. All the cameos in this film were really, really good. I loved, like, the writing, the dialogue. Just some scenes were so funny, like, I was just laughing. It was so laughable. The comedy hits, the timing of the comedy hits perfectly. Yeah. Another thing is, in this film, I never felt really bored, I guess. Like, everything sort of just happened, and there was no, like, boring part of the film where, oh, we gotta go through this now, or we gotta go through that now. Like, it was consistently and continuously just going and going. Next scene. So, yeah. It didn't feel like, oh, we've been here for so long, and, nothing was really going forward. No, everything just happened, and it happens well. I loved the scenes where they played the song by Madonna. I keep forgetting the name of it. I don't really remember what it is, but that sort of made it pretty funny. Or not funny, I guess, but more action intensive and like, yes, here we go. The couple of fight scenes between Deadpool and Wolverine were nice. I did enjoy those. So yeah. What else? I guess, the ending was pretty nice and especially when Deadpool and Wolverine went up against other Deadpool variants, because they were like, if you want to get to Cassandra, you got to go through us. That scene was kind of nice. But then the sad part was, they just regenerated. So all the cool fighting they did before just negates it. It just came back to life. And then they were like, oh, we can use Peter as sort of a exposition thing where everyone just looks up to Peter so much. They respect him highly and will regard it. And sure, while that is funny, it just doesn't really have much explanation other than just a way to get the plot moving and pushing things forward. I wonder if Ryan George will mention that in the pitch meeting. But yeah. I loved a couple of references. For example, when Deadpool's like, "Keep my country's name out of your mouth," like again a reference to the whole Will Smith Oscar incident. So I love sort of these fourth wall breaks and references that do happen throughout the film. I did love, of course, seeing the nice version of Deadpool. I guess they tried to make him more Canadian and more nice. It's weird that he was the only one who couldn't regenerate, though. I guess maybe that was his power. Instead of being able to regenerate, he's just such a nice guy. Maybe because I don't know, he just can't regenerate. So, like, what powers does he have then? I guess just the guns. I guess those are pretty nice. And of course, I guess since he died, Dogpool was like his to take care of. Yeah, that part didn't make much sense, but yeah, it just happened. What else? I loved seeing the fight scene, of course, with all the other X-Men mutant characters. We got Gambit, we got Blade, we got Elektra, I think that's what her name is, and of course X-23. So like the only Gambit I've like seen before was of course the one from the movie. What was it called? X-Men Origins Wolverine. That one, people didn't like the character, so when they brought back Gambit in this one, it was pretty nice and well done. Like they sort of treated the character a lot better. And as far as Elektra goes, I don't know too much about her character since I never saw her movies. I don't know if she had movies, but I've never seen any of that, or the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. So I didn't see those. They just focused on watching the X-Men movies because they didn't do as well. But that was, I guess, nice to sort of bring them back in this certain way. What other cameos are there? Oh yeah, seeing Chris Evans return as the Human Torch was awesome. I knew it was him as Human Torch, not as Captain America from the get-go itself. Even before he said his catchphrase, whatever it was, I forgot. And he changed it to the Human Torch because there were rumors spreading that the Fantastic Four might be in this film. So I'm like, okay, it's probably that. If he came back as Cap, it could work maybe as a variant and everything, but I'm like, it's probably the Human Torch, and it still worked out. It was pretty cool. And then I guess how Deadpool was like, when he killed him at the end, or he was the reason why he got killed. It's like, it's a good thing. How much of our budget was going to just having him in the film? Well, that makes sense. Chris Evans would be pretty expensive to have in the film. But yeah, no, I knew it wasn't Captain America. He seemed way more, I guess, skinny, I guess, or tall or whatever. So I'm like, they probably had him look different because of that. What else? Oh yeah, I loved seeing Henry Cavill with the whole Wolverine costume and everything, sort of giving him that look. I know when I saw it in the theater, a lot of people were like laughing at that scene, like it was super funny and hilarious. And some people were saying, oh, maybe Henry Cavill could play the role of Wolverine and everything. So, well, he didn't do much either. It was fine. Other thing I like to point out is people were saying, oh, or what's it? The fight scenes happening. For example, one was Wolverine versus Bonesaw. Or not Bonesaw, that's Spider-Man. Wolverine versus Sabretooth, yeah, there we go. And ever since, like, I guess X-Men, or not X-Men, just the movie X-Men, the first X-Men film, the one that came out in the year 2000, and then people were waiting for, I guess, the rematch, because at first he didn't really know how to use his powers, or he just wasn't as strong yet, or as controlled, so he lost to him. But I feel like in X2 or X3, Wolverine could have killed him by then. He wasn't that hard villain to defeat. Dude literally just looks like a caveman, and it was like, it's not gonna be easy. I'm like, Wolverine has been through much more. I feel like Sabretooth shouldn't be as bad, and I guess it was fine to see, I guess, the rematch. It didn't hype me up too much because, like, I knew this would be a piece of cake. Like, you got full on strength in Wolverine versus Sabretooth. Like, it's not gonna be that hard. People were saying, oh, maybe there would also be like a Wolverine versus Hulk fight scene. Yeah, that didn't happen. Sure, they brought in a Hulk variant in the film, but he was barely showed. And I was wondering, like, how exactly would that work as well? Like, and which Hulk would they use? Would it be Mark Ruffalo or Edward Norton? I'm pretty sure that he's not coming back anyways. Or Eric Bana, he's probably not coming back either. So I'm like, how exactly would that work out? You know, it's just something I'm wondering. As far as the question goes, will Wolverine return again? I don't know. They say he won't, but you know, in the movie, the running gag is that Marvel's gonna keep you until you turn 90, so I'm not sure. Definitely in Secret Wars, it could be possible, you know, because Hugh Jackman's like, if I can be in a film with me and Toby, Spider-Man, and I guess Iron Man, because they were all like the starters of the MCU. Hugh Jackman for X-Men, Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man, and Iron Man for MCU itself. So I guess since like I guess the OGs of their respective franchises, that could be a reason why. So I guess we'll see if that happens. But Deadpool's probably still going to be there. He still has a lot more story to tell, a lot more things to do. So yeah, there's that. What else? I'm discussing a lot of stuff that happens in this film, and I could just go on and on and on about it. But yeah, I think that's it. I enjoyed it. I liked this film. It was a pretty nice thing to watch after Marvel's sort of not doing as well. For a rating, just because of the other stuff, I put it at maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I think that sums it up pretty well. You know, again, because of some of the stuff I mentioned earlier, I brought it down to a 9 and then to an 8.5 because I guess just some other stuff that could have just been a bit more better or more just fun to watch. But yeah. Anyways, that's what you got. So, wow, this was a long video. A lot to take in, of course, though. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching my reaction to Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'll see you guys next time for whatever comes next. And again, if you want to see me react to all the Minions, Despicable Me villains from the franchise, let me know in the comments below this video as well. I have more video reactions coming up for, I guess, whatever movies I'll see. But as far as my summer movie scheduling goes, Deadpool and Wolverine was kind of like saving the best one for last. Finally came out, reacted to it. So there you go. But yeah, I enjoyed the film thoroughly. I'm trying to see if there's anything else to discuss. I guess that's basically it, you guys. So let me know if you want more videos. And of course, more video reactions and reviews will obviously come for movies and shows and everything. So just subscribe to the channel and like this video. So I'll make more of those and they'll be uploaded to the channel sooner. But in the meantime, Eagle Reviewer /Reactor, it's out.